On his back beneath a tree, branches dancing in the wind, this man, the first man, knew his life was soon to end. Thousands of leaves reminded him of his children and theirs, and as they expanded and struggled and spread, so did the man's sorrows, and so did his cares. For he was the only man ever created who knew a time that was perfect and good, and the memories of that far distant past gripped his heart as nothing else could. He recalled the initial flash of life breathed into his body from dust, eyes open to the very face of God, arms stretched in awe and childlike trust. Lush green was the land that they walked hand in hand in the cool of the day. God taught the man all about himself. He was enraptured by all God would say. God placed the man over all the animals that roamed and fashioned a wife to whom he did cleave. On earth there was never a more perfect joy than the Eden of the man, God, and Eve. He blinked the fiery tears away, eyelids closed as scenes abhorred, pulsed forth from chambers of deepest regret, his exile from the garden of the Lord. The tree above reminded the man of the one God pointed out long ago. Don't eat from that tree, you'll surely die. To this one act did God say no. But then one day, the man and Eve encountered a cunning snake, and directly to Eve it addressed its deceit and encouraged that she partake. Should I stop this interaction twixt this serpent and my wife? Could he be right that the eating of this fruit won't end my life? Pondered on these thoughts did he, but not a word from him was spoken, and passively he too bit in, and innocence was broken. It will be good to finally be like God, the man supposed, but his eyes were opened as he chewed, his sin and body exposed. Fear and guilt overtook them both. Man and woman realized they were nude, and when God came to speak to his kids, they hid, too much shame to be viewed. It was not the eating of the fruit itself, but the disobedience in one simple act. He rebelled against God, and everything changed from perfection to paradise racked. The man sat up with a start and cried, "My God, how could I ever doubt? I broke your trust, I disobeyed." Toward the heavens did the man shout. Sobbing now, what he longed for most, the voice of God, which he could once hear. But his talks were traded for prayers from afar, separation from what was once near. Then the man's thoughts fell upon the human race of which he was first, and how by his trespass against God, all humanity was now cursed. Not all sins were the same as the one from which they stemmed, and yet death reigned, and every man stood condemned. The man grieved the legacy he would leave upon his kin. He grieved the exit from the garden. He grieved the original sin. How could he get back to the garden where they once walked? How could he get back to the closeness of when they laughed and talked? I want to come back. God, please make a way. If only there was one who could listen and obey. We light the Advent candle to remind ourselves that Jesus is the true and better Adam.